Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. And here we are near the end of the week where I've been talking about Second Thessalonians. And I have a couple of thoughts to share with you today. As I said, we're nearing the end of the week and we're nearing the end of the little book. So let's look today at chapter 3, verses 3 to 5. Here's what it says. But the Lord is faithful. He will strengthen you and guard you from the evil one. And we are confident in the Lord that you are doing and will continue to do the things we commanded you. May the Lord lead your hearts into a full understanding and expression of the love of God and the patient endurance that comes from Christ. When Paul says to the church at Thessalonica, the Lord is faithful, he's saying that to a group of people who are living their lives in an environment that is not overtly Christian. In fact, there are very few Christians there. There are very few people who understand who God has revealed himself to be. And so when Paul says this, but the Lord is faithful, he will strengthen you and guard you. I know, because I've talked to a lot of people over the years, that God doesn't work things out the way they want them to. Maybe you're in that category. Maybe that's caused you to question your faith or even dispute that there is a God. I mean, after all, if there's a God, how could he let such and such happen? I've heard that many times. I keep thinking there ought to be a really, really short but good answer. And I haven't found it yet. So if you have the really good answer, then please send me a note and tell me. I'd like to hear it. But what I do have the answer for is that the Lord is faithful. He will do everything he says he will do. The Bible is full of promises. It's full of statements. It's full of words of what will happen. Now, it's not an encyclopedia for how the world's going to end. And I hope it doesn't end, at least the world that we know. Awful lot of people be in big trouble if it ended tomorrow. But God is faithful. People are not faithful necessarily. Jobs are not faithful necessarily. I mean, new technology comes in and you're out the door. My dad, when I was a younger boy, worked at the cellophane plant. They made that old crinkly, loud sounding cellophane. And I remember when they started making it in reds and greens for Christmas. And they used it for everything. And Dad's job was as secure as anything could be. But technology overcame them and they went out of business. They left a lot of people in that community in trouble, but there wasn't anything they could do because they couldn't manage the technology increase and consumer needs. Well, God does. There is nothing that happens outside of his understanding. I didn't say our understanding, his understanding. God is faithful. Whatever he promises will come to pass. It might not come as soon as I want. It might not come exactly as I want, but it will come. And it says, then it goes on to say, and he strengthens you and guards you. Did you know that you have a personal bodyguard? Yeah, you do. It's called the Lord. He's always, as they say in the movies, watching your six. He's watching your back. He's watching your every movement. Oh, I don't know if he'll stop a bullet if some idiot shoots you. That's more TV than it is real. Most likely, if somebody shoots you, you're going to be in big trouble. But even in the midst of that, he's still faithful. And it says he guards us from the evil one. Whatever it is that wants to destroy you, your happiness, your joy, your family, your mind, your body, whatever it is, God will protect that as long as you're walking with him. And it says, and Paul says, we're confident that you, meaning the church in Thessalonica, that you are doing and will continue to do the things that we've talked to you about. What were those things? Well, the kinds of actions you do to reveal the character of God. They're confident that the people in Thessalonica are going to continue in their attempt to walk with God faithfully. And I hope that says the same thing to you. I know a lot of you don't believe that. But it's okay not to believe it. But not believing it doesn't make it false. I can look out the window and think, boy, it must be hot out there. I can see the sun. It is really hot. But it doesn't make it hot. My eyes can deceive me. My heart can deceive me. Others can deceive me. But God never does, never even tries. And then Paul says, may the Lord lead your heart into a full understanding and expression of the love of God. The final goal in all of this stuff is to live a life that shines love and compassion to all people, just like Jesus did. Not the ones that you already like, not the ones that pat you on the back, tell you how good you are, to all people, to live a life demonstrating that love and grace to others. And that's the challenge for me and for you. Sometimes it's hard to do that. Sometimes it seems almost impossible. But that's what God wants us to do. That's why he looks over us. That's why he watches us. That's why he encourages. That's why he never leaves us by ourselves. So today, in whatever time you have left of it, be sure you share that love to someone else. It could be you're the first person to ever do that. Well, thanks for listening. If you have a concern or a need, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. I'll be back one more time and finish up this week. So until tomorrow, God bless you. I'll see you again.